Hello and welcome to Completely Electrical STEM Show again. Yes, they lie to you. Society and the education system are constantly withholding information and telling white lies. It all starts at an early age when you're told that Mr. Fire and Mr. Socket might bite you or hurt you, and they're given faces and it looks a bit strange, but it's all intended to kind of teach you not to touch these things, and that's fine. But society goes on to tell you that trains have faces and they all live happily on an island with a big fat guy controlling everything, and that cars can have faces too and personalities, and they can get a bit sad if they don't win the race. We're told that lions can have organised societies with elected councils. We're told that green men can get a bit annoyed and then destroy a city. And we're told that penguins can dance better than Jacko, and that a single guy with a skin can erect defensive structures in the blink of an eye and no-scope you from 4 miles away. Now, the majority of those are intended to teach you good morals or maybe good health and safety lessons. I'd say about 70% is that. The other 30% is Fortnite, but it's there, we created it. Maybe we didn't think it through. So the lies are relentless, and it just kind of continues through your toddler years, I suppose. You then move into school and everything seems to get a bit better. You're told more truth than lie, and that's right for English and maths, maybe most of art. History is clearly written by the victorious party, and for example, if you go to Lanzarote, you will see that our Sir Richard Drake is actually Pirate Drake, and quite rightly so. It was a bit of a git. He went there and robbed the island of all the fresh water and fish and then buggered off. They're not going to hold him in high regard, are they? But then there's science, and the science is, well, that's where this problem really kind of comes in. And there's a very good reason for it, and that's what I'm going to explain in this video. This is all about the fact that with science you can go as far as you want to go. And I think Richard Feynman actually said this. He said, you decide where you stop. You know, when do you want me to stop with the explanation? Because with every question in science, there is an answer for every level. And that's the point. And that's why your teacher might kind of tell a little white lie just to get the concept that you need into your head. So they tell you a snippet of a truth, and then you accept it as gospel. And then once you do, then they reveal that actually that wasn't quite it. There's a little bit more to the puzzle. And you're like, okay, fine. And then you learn the next piece of the puzzle, and then they switch again and say, oh, actually, sorry. Yeah, there's a bit more to it than that, actually, if you go a bit deeper. And that's the point. It just goes on and on and on. And so with electrical, we get this also. And there's so many good examples of this. The atomic structure, for example. Like, oh yeah, it's little balls flying around. Of course not. There's probability fields and all sorts of things. So, you know, the hydrogen atom would look like this with the Niels Bohr scale, but then when you go into kind of like the big world and our current understanding, it might look a bit more like this. So, you know, we go as far as we want to go. That's the point. With volt drop, we're told that it's this with DC, and then we correct it to this with AC, and then it goes a bit further. And then it goes a bit further, and then it goes a bit further when you get to bigger cables. So it just keeps going on and on and on. That's the point. And we got the same with earthing arrangements. TNS, 0.8. TNCS, 0.35. End. But it's not, is it? Because when you get deeper and deeper into it, it elaborates even more. And you might see it, you know, represented like this with a resistive and reactive component, and then you might find out that actually 4% of the property is guaranteed to have this, and then less and less and less. It goes on and on and on. Now, some teachers might feel the need to tell little white lies, and I'm definitely guilty of that. There's only one that I do. When you teach about semiconductors and LEDs, you might represent the holes as a positive particle, even though they're just devoid of negative charge. So they're devoid of electron, therefore they are more positive, but they're not a particle. And so it's kind of what you might call anthropomorphizing, I think. But it's for a good reason. We want to get the concept across well, and then we can fine tune it later. That's what teachers do. And we're doing that individually when we're kind of face to face. And the problem comes when somebody sees something different online and it's different to what their tutor told them, and they're like, oh, maybe my tutor knows nothing. Maybe my tutor's a complete... That's the problem. They're probably not. They've got a plan, but they're going to reveal it later. And you've just kind of, you know, cut to the middle, and it's not okay. Just notice the microphone's here. I hope that come out alright. I'm just going to clip that on. You can tell I'm a pro. What's the point of this video? The point is that the syllabus is actually very well planned. And if you've ever been involved in any of the City and Guilds qualifications, you'll know that there's a huge team that do their absolute best to make sure it's as accurate as possible, and the plan is set as clearly as possible, and it's been thought out with this in mind. It is baby steps to get all them concepts across. And so when I say the education system has been lying to you, it's pure clickbait, really. Of course it is. There's a reason, and give your trainer a chance. Trust your trainer, trust your training provider. If they've told you something different and you see it online as different, then go back to them and ask them about it. Don't just assume they don't know what they're talking about. They may have a plan for you. It's been individualized for you. That's what Ofsted want. You know, that's what everyone wants. We want individual plans for every single learner. When I teach a class, I'm not teaching one class. I'm teaching 14 classes. I'm doing like a base level, and then I'm going around pushing every student as far as they can go. It's exhausting, but that's my job. And I love my job, and I will not stop doing that. And I will always push my students as hard as they can. But at the end of the day, they're going to be electricians, not physicists. And so they just need to know where to apply that equation, how to use it, and what values are acceptable. That's what level 3 is. It's basically do as you're told. You're not there to come up with new processes or thoughts or, you know, get a doctorate or anything. You're just doing the process. That's it. A lot of people are happy with that. I'm happy with that. I just want them concepts clear. So, point of this video, trust your training first. If they don't give you an acceptable explanation, fair enough, complain. But yeah, go back to them first. If you see anything online that's a little bit more advanced and or maybe it has been explained differently, give them a chance to explain. Because the reason why we lie in science is because it's endless. It's endless. Thanks for watching. See you later.